BBC News, hello, I'm Eileen McHugh. Britain's governing Conservative Party has set out the rules and timetable for the contest to replace Boris Johnson as both party leader and the country's Prime Minister. In order to enter the race, each of the 11 candidates will need to be nominated by 20 fellow Conservative lawmakers. Our political correspondent Ione Wells says voting will start on Wednesday.
MPs who have put themselves forward will then need to get at least 30 votes in that first round of voting to get through to the next stage. And there will essentially be more and more of these stages with Tory MPs voting on different candidates until that initial list is whittled down to just 2 remaining candidates. Now, they will kind of battle it out over the summer, vying for votes among Tory members at various hustings around the country and things like that. And then the final vote for the final 2 is expected by Tory members at the end of the summer, with the result announced on the 5th of September. So it's on that date that we'll have a new Conservative Party leader and a new Prime Minister as well.
The main opposition leader in Sri Lanka, Sajid Premadasa, has said he intends to run for president once Gotabaya Rajapaksa steps down. Mr Rajapaksa is expected to resign this week following widespread protests amid Sri Lanka's worst economic crisis. Our South Asia regional editor Ambrasana Tirajan reports from Colombo.
In an interview with the BBC, Sajid Premadasa said his party was ready to join an all-party interim government as part of the efforts to lead Sri Lanka out of the current economic crisis. Mr. Premadasa, who lost the presidential election in 2019, also needs the support of the governing alliance to win. He described the current situation in Sri Lanka as confused and said that total anarchy prevailed in the country. Sri Lanka has run out of cash and is looking for international loans and assistance to import food, fuel and medicine.
President Biden has introduced the first images to be shown publicly from the James Webb Telescope, largest and most powerful ever launched into space and now in orbit around the Sun at a distance of 1.6 million kilometres.
It's a new window into the history of our universe. And today we're going to get a glimpse of the first light to shine through that window. Light from other worlds, orbiting stars far beyond our own. Light where stars were born and from where they die. Light from the oldest galaxies, the oldest documented light in the history of the universe from over 13 billion years ago.
The telescope's infrared capabilities enable it to peer through cosmic dust and clouds to detect light from the earliest stars. The White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says Iran is planning to supply hundreds of drones to Russia for use in Ukraine. He said some would be weapons capable and the US had information that Iran was preparing to train Russian forces to use these. BBC News. Soaring temperatures have again gripped much of Europe. Drought conditions have been recorded in countries from Italy to Portugal. The hottest temperature was recorded in Seville in southern Spain. A major United Nations report has warned that a global economy focused on short-term profit is wrecking the planet. The Science Advisory Panel for Biodiversity has called for a radically different approach to how nature is valued. In December, countries will gather to finalise a treaty aimed at halting the decline of biodiversity and setting humans on a path to live in harmony with nature by 2050. The 4 times British Olympic athletics champion Mo Farah has revealed he was brought into the UK illegally under the name of another child. Sir Mo told a BBC documentary he was born in Somaliland as Hussein Abdi Kahin and was brought to Britain under the assumed name Mohammed Farah. He said he felt the need to tell his real story, whatever the cost. The man who wrote the theme tune for the James Bond films, Monty Norman, has died. He was 94. Vincent Dowd looks back at his career.
Monty Norman's writing career began in the brash world of 50s British musicals.
I never had it so good since the day I was born.
In his 20s, Monty Norman worked as a band singer. In 1961, he wrote a stage musical called Belle. One of the backers was film producer Cubby Broccoli, who, though the show flopped, introduced him to his producing partner, Harry Saltzman. Dr. No and its successors were huge hits. Nothing else he wrote ever had the same success. But in the Bond theme, Monty Norman originated one of the classics of film music.
And that's the latest world news from the BBC.